we are talking about quarter life crisis, which I never heard till date, unless I heard it from your mouth, Solai.
Yeah.
So let's start off from there because I heard of midlife crisis, and as Sai was saying before he joined in, we all are not just heard of it; we are experiencing it sometimes here and there. So let's start off. What is quarter life crisis?
Yeah, I think maybe just to begin with, I had come across this particular phrase called quarter life crisis, in some of the forum where I read, right? So maybe once you reach certain age, maybe when you reach certain age kind of, I would say group, maybe between 25, 30, right? Maybe 25 to 34, somewhere around. So you might have done a lot of things to get to a certain point. For example, you as soon as you're born, you will be admitted in school. I mean, like not admitted in school. Maybe after as soon as you're born, maybe after 3, 4 years, you will go to preschool, and then you complete first standard, second standard, and so on. Then you will complete your 10th standard, and that's how the education the path goes to that particular way. And soon after you complete one, the next challenge will come. You soon after you complete another one, the next challenges comes. The next challenge will be more than what you have solved earlier. So, and then you will land the job after completing your studies, and then after you know completing your maybe after once you settle in the job, then of course uh, you'll get settled in the life, maybe marrying someone you love, or maybe through arranged marriage or whatever it is. And then after that, you will feel okay. uh, why am I doing this? So what is my kind of goal? Am I doing it right? Is it the right path that I'm heading to? What is that which I'm getting? So it's every day it's the same routine. I mean, doing it rightly. Is it good or is it bad? So am I worth, doing this? Am I really worth in getting this and all those things, right? So where we'll question ourselves in terms of the things which we do on regular basis once we reach certain age, because of the impact that we had from the past, right? So that is kind of rethinking, or I would say questioning whatever that you had done in the past. So uh, that's what I understood overall. So where you will get stuck into some sort of limited kind of thinking, and then you want to identify some sort of purpose and then vision, and then you want to make your life more interesting rather than sticking back to the same kind of thoughts, right? Yeah. So that's I mean, that's many people might have gone through at certain.
I mean, no,
So yeah.
midlife crisis. Yeah, it's a norm. I think some psychologists coined the term. I don't know who it was. Probably we can find out later. But yeah, it typically happens in 40s. What I heard, where what you just explained, right? Uh, you just take a step back suddenly because you're not enjoying your life. Then you start questioning, and I think that's a right spot to be in because that's when probably it's time to redefine your vision, redefine your goals, and rechart the path on where you want to go. Or probably it's the same path you want to go, but you want to do it something slightly differently. But I think with that, I'll ask Sai because he gave a wonderful example of what vision, mission, and how they all come together. So over to you, Sai, with that example.
With that example,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, see, definitely, you'll at some point in your career, you will be stuck where you will feel things are going mechanical, nothing interesting, monotonous lifestyle, right? Monotonous job routine. And this happens in cybersecurity, any domain, unless you are into some sort of, adventurous sport, or, where you get to experience a new feeling every day, those sort of businesses. But otherwise, it's very common. And uh, look, I mean, I remember one of the very good points which Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella said. He said, during this time of your career when you're stuck, right? Um, See, you need to focus on your personal innovation. That's what Venu also said, right? You have to rethink, you have to self-analysis, right? You have to do the self-analysis to understand what's happening. And that is a point where you have to focus on your personal innovation. When we say personal innovation, what more that you can do to uplift yourself, right? To go to the next level. And that personally, I would definitely like like these words are big, but if you think, it can be a simple thing like trying to learn a new skill, right? That can change that monotonous or the mechanical way of routine and let you experience like something something interesting. So the personal innovation is one point which I feel like is very important when you are stuck in this sort of very catchy terms like quarter life crisis or midlife crisis. And yeah, coming back to the point of the mission, vision, objectives, and goals. See, I mean, broadly, whether it's a company or a human or a person or a cybersecurity practitioners like all of us, it's always important to have a broad vision of where do you want to go, what do you want to achieve in your life, right? It can be personal, it can be professional, and that needs to be established. Maybe you may not be able to think of that in the early, maybe say 5 to 8 years of your career, but down the line, right after you spend 8 to 9 years in the industry, you need to make sure that you have a clear vision of where you want to progress, right? What's your end goal, right? For example, is it CISO? Is it an offensive security expert? Is it a GRC expert? What do you want? That end vision will help you to drive yourself, fuel your enthusiasm, and work in that direction. And before we actually jump on to the other aspects of mission, goals, and objectives, I definitely want to ask Solai, what what does you think, Solai, about the vision thing? Do you agree? And feel free to disagree as well.
I mean, definitely everyone should have the vision. I mean, even um, when you are working or not working, it doesn't matter. Even being a house, I mean, like a lady who's being a housewife, she also has a vision, right? To protect the family, to support family. It's just a very small kind of a statement, but it has a very big kind of impact, right? So in that same applies to our career as well. Um, so that is very much important. The reason being, I could still remember the some sort of analogy where I heard when your plane is when the plane is flying, right? It is flying flying in the sky, right? So when you just change it by just slightly by 1 degree the direction, right? So the impact of getting landing in the wrong kind of country, right? It's very high. The reason being
Yes,
a small light 1 degree of change, which will go pretty much like it make a very big impact, right? So even the
absolutely.
nature also is being structured in such a way that you are what you think. For example, if I wanted to do something, say example, I want to complete a specific certification, CSSP, maybe even knows it very much better. So what I wanted was a little push, right? For example, I want to do since long time, but we all wanted was a slight push. Okay, can we do it? I mean, what if we fail? What if this kind of very big tough kind of certification, people say that many people say okay, they have failed this exam by maybe some small kind of mark, and many people might say that I have attempted twice or thrice. What if it happens to me, because I might end up losing my money and all those things, right? But who knows, we may be capable of completing it the first attempt, right? So those kind of self
Absolutely.
doubts, right, which will impact our kind of the day-to-day work as well, and what object the goals or objective that you want to achieve, right? So in my opinion, we should have the vision. Either it is a, I mean, it doesn't matter it's a small or big. I mean, the vision itself is cannot be quantified, right? Or say that it is a small vision or the big vision. The vision is just a vision. So we
Correct.
need to have some sort of vision, so that one thing which I believe is like when you have the vision in your mind, what happens is like whenever you get into a situation or whenever you get into work which doesn't align with your vision, what you do is you will skip those things so that your focus move towards that particular direction, but you don't have the vision, right? So it's like kind of moving towards some sort of wrong direction all the time, again learning from the mistakes, again coming back to that kind of track and all those things. So that will get reduced. Your
Yep,
energy will get channelized when you have some sort of vision, whereas um,
absolutely.
that's what they call, right? So we all have a scattered intelligence. The reason being because of all this social networking and distraction and everything, we tend to get more information from the YouTube shorts or some other Instagrams and everything. So we believe that okay, we know everything, but actually it is not the complete one, right? Basically it is scattered intelligence. You know something about certain areas, something about certain areas, something about certain areas, but when you get into that particular field, maybe you don't know deeper, right? So in order to have that full kind of an understanding of certain topics or certain product or certain technology, so you need to have some sort of laser focus into that area, and we have to spend some time understanding it completely, so that it will benefit to our career. Yeah. So
Correct.
I think,
Correct.
yeah.
Absolutely, Solai.
So, but I think you use a beautiful example. Let's take the flight. I mean, it is going to a destination. Sometimes it's a bad weather. So, if the weather is really bad, then you need to make an emergency landing. Although in our life we don't call it emergency because it's your own time. Then, when you're landed, then you reassess the situation completely. Then you take off. And unlike aircraft, we don't have a fixed destination as well. Our destination can change. Maybe you reach the destination, you change the destination. I think so. You were asking me earlier. Uh, what will you do once you hit the goal? You find a new goal. Again, sorry, I'm in a philosophical mood today. I think there was one more dialogue I said, right?
It's very important,
Progress,
you know.
yeah, yeah. Uh,
we-
Progress is more important than perfection.
yeah,
Uh,
Absolutely.
yeah,
Absolutely.
and you keep progressing, and that's what you need to keep doing it. So it's a good time for
Absolutely.
you, as I said. Talk to more people, interact with more people. Then you will probably figure out your uh, answers to the questions which you're asking, or somebody might ask you a right question. Another famous counterintuitive things in life is that a good person doesn't necessarily answer good answers, but you'll have good questions. When you have the good
Absolutely.
question, you look for the answers, and only you can find those answers, because eventually you'll have to
yep,
find your answer.
yeah. On the same line,
Absolutely.
I would
Absolutely.
like to ask one more question, right? Regarding to the topic where maybe when the new people, I mean, like the people who are passed out from college who are coming to the cybersecurity field, right? So, what are the one piece of advice that we could give to have some sort of goal and vision, to grow in their career, right? So, because earlier, we are a good example, right? So when we started our career back then, so we just completed our studies, and then we have to land in a job, and we just land in some sort of random job, and then we had a choice or chance, right? So and that's how we landed, and after that we kind of accumulated some more information on the specific field, and then we keep on practicing that on a daily basis, and that's how we are here now, right? So what is one piece of advice that we could give that will help them to reduce the number of hours or days or weeks or years they spend on finding this vision or setting this particular vision, rather than they if they set it at very early stage in the career, so that they can pick up the specific kind of skills which is going to add more strength to their career path, right? So if you could start.
Can I
Correct.
go with
Yeah,
this
yeah.
on the first one? So,
Yeah, yeah, go for it, man.
according to me, I think this is where I was going through a CSP training quite a long time back. They said like you have to do a self-assessment of your personality. There are a lot of sites out there, especially from InfoSec side as well. Uh, Only when you do a self-assessment, then you will be able to understand what kind of personality you have. And again, going back to okay, theme is going to be philosophical. I'm going to go back to Bhagavad Gita, where Krishna told to Arjuna, your dharma should define your karma. I mean, your dharma has multiple meanings, but in that context, Krishna was saying that your intrinsic property or characteristics of yours should actually define your karma. Karma is what work you're doing. If you're a Kshatriya, your
Correct.
work is to fight.
Correct.
If you're Vaishna, is to do the business. Similarly, when you do a self-assessment, you'll understand your dharma as well. Uh, and once you understand dharma, it's easy for you to choose the field you have. And cybersecurity has many different areas. Some needs different characteristics. For example, if you're in SOC, security operations centers, you need to be extremely good in analysis. You should be able to catch the patterns. You should be able to
Correct.
work with the patterns. But if you like breaking things, there are people who like breaking things. Ethical hacking is the best thing they can do, because you give them anything, they'll find a way to break it, and they will
Correct.
succeed extremely well, and they'll never work because they love doing what they want to do. So that is the best advice you can have, at least from my side. Do a self-assessment, kind of understand what you are. Some people, once you understand what you are, some people like to do a lot of preparation to their journey, because you're deciding your destination, then you do a preparation to journey. But the others, they're just random. They pick up one toothpaste, one pair of clothes, and they just go. Okay, let's go here today, let's go tomorrow. So it depends on your personality. So both will work, actually. Both will reach their destination, provided they're focused. So that's my advice.
Right.
So over to you, Sai.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah, I mean, see, uh, if I add my personal experience here, I like initial few years of my career, I didn't even know what's the mission or what's the mission, very honestly. I got the job. I was trying to explore this domain of cybersecurity. And yeah, eventually, after working for a couple of years, then I really realized that, yes, I mean, this is the right field for me. And this is the field where I would really want to spend a lot of time. And I want to be somewhere where I don't want to be definitely. I mean, I'd definitely want to be a CISO managing a group of amazingly talented people, because it's not to enjoy that power, but it's more to learn from the individuals at that point, right? That's when you interact with some amazing minds in the industry. Um, so definitely that vision, I was only able to write it down after spending maybe say 7 to 8 years in the industry. And it like my belief is, again, this is my personal belief. And what I feel is, eventually, once you keep spending time in profession, some people, they realize during that period that, yeah, this is the vision, or this is the goal I want to do in my life personally. For some people, I have seen, like, I've got friends who have spent a lot in the IT industry, and suddenly they felt that this is not the thing that I want to do in my life. This is not the right thing. This is not what I really want to do. And they started their own, like, one of my friends, he started a restaurant, he was a big foodie. So he said, this is what I want to be. And one of my friend, he turned into a gym trainer. He felt, no, this is not that. So I believe, some people, they may realize it at the initial part of their career. Like, now I can see that due to the startup burst and bubble going on, right? I can see a lot of entrepreneurs, who know what they want to do. Right? They're very clear about, they want to be an entrepreneur, they want to establish or build this product. And there are one set of people like me who will define after a couple of years. And there are few people who maybe after a certain period of time, they think that, no, this is not I want to do, and I want to do something else in my life. And that is when they will probably revise their vision, or maybe they had that vision, but they couldn't do it because of financial circumstances, or, personal reasons. We don't know. But yeah, these are kind of different categories. I feel like, people may end up defining their vision. And for the young people, right? I mean, I don't think that, one fine day you will sit and you will say, I want to write my vision. I don't think so. That is something I don't feel that is realistic. You need to go with the flow, and that is how when you will realize, what's the vision that you what's your personal vision and where you want to end up.
Fantastic, Sai. Thanks, Venu, for the detailed explanation. Yeah, and with an example.
And just
Yeah.
yeah, and just in continuation to that, so let's put Venu on spot. Being, spent a lot of years in cyber security as compared to me and Solai, like both our experiences combined is Venu's
Yeah.
experience. So we're at 25 years, right? So from your opinion, right? I mean, we are talking about the vision and mission from a very broad. Let's narrow it down to cybersecurity. And there is a lot of confusion out there, right? There are a lot of times when people club vision with objectives. There are a lot of times when people will only have objectives. They'll not even have vision and mission. Um, excuse me. What do you think, firstly, how should we actually define this, attributes, this vision, mission? And again, how important it is to align with the business's vision and mission. And what's the best way or the easy way that you did or you follow to achieve or to bifurcate this vision, mission, objectives, and goals?
Yep. Sorry, just a minor correction. So 22 years in cybersecurity and another 2 years in IT. So 24 completely, not 25, but next year is going to come soon. So it's going to be 25. So I think one important thing to keep in mind is that, especially in IT industry, when we started it off, uh, the goalpost kept moving. So the goals also kept changing. So it was initially called IT security. Then information security came into picture, and it's going to evolve as well with AI coming in and quantum computer coming in, which is my other favorite topic. We're going to leave it for some other day. But eventually, you need to understand that all the IT functions and security functions are there to support the business. So unless you understand what your company is doing, what their business objectives are, what their business visions are, what their business missions are. Again, borrowing from Sai, what you earlier spoke about it, a vision is something a very broad level goal which you have, top of the pyramid, and then mission is something which defines some of the steps which you're going to take to achieve that vision. Then underneath that, you get your objectives, which is going to be minor steps. And now we're going to achieve those missions, which in turn will help you achieve the vision. Uh, Cyber security should be part of that pyramid. It should not run separately. Then even the business will fail, and the cyber security will also fail. One big problem I've seen, at least a good number of people who get into cybersecurity, is that um, they're very easy to say no to things, because from a pure cybersecurity perspective, what a business is trying to do is absolutely no for them. But you need to understand and mature yourself and gain experience saying that, um, instead of saying no, you say yes, but then you analyze the risk. Then you see what additional compensatory controls, which we technically use all the time, saying that how do you reduce the risk to an acceptable level, because uh, risk cannot be zero. Similarly, everything we do in life is a risk. They say like, what will happen if you don't take a risk? If you don't take a risk, that itself is a risk. It will
Absolutely.
be at the same place.
Absolutely.
So unless you understand the business objective, unless you understand and fine tune your cybersecurity program to align with the business you're in, you will fail. But the moment you understand, then you make sure that you start defining the risk framework based on your business. Some might have a greater risk for appetite, some may not have a greater risk for appetite. A technology company will have a lot of money to spend, or a BFSI will have a lot of money to spend on cybersecurity. But if you go for a non-tech company, a manufacturing industry, they may not have. But for them, it's not
Right.
required at all, because again, it's all boils down to CIA, right? Confidentiality, information, integrity and availability. All of them are required in a company, but the percentage of that keeps varying on the industry you are in.
Right.
Banking availability is topmost priority, confidential is topmost priority. Manufacturing confidentially, probably if they have IP or something like that, but available may not be that much of it. It is important, not that much important. So that's where it is.
Right.
uh, Understand the business first, what they're in.
Correct.
Understand the risk the business is going through, then you layer in the cyber security risk framework to align with the business. Then you'll have a very successful model. You will also grow, the company will also grow, and on a lighter note, everyone will get the full bonuses.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Sola, your experience?
Yeah. So overall, yeah. So I think what I would like to kind of endorse what Renu has said, right? So aligning with this business requirements, right? So that is very important. The reason being always, the security is seen as some sort of, expense, right? So You just we are the team of individuals who do a lot of things to secure the organization. But compared to sales and other teams who get a lot of business back to you know customers, business back to the organization, where they can quantify the value. But when it comes to the cybersecurity business, right? I mean, the cybersecurity vertical. So of course we could quantify with certain criteria, but when it overall, if you just see from organization perspective, so we cannot straight away say no. At the same time, we have to find some sort of middle ground. So basically, uh, there are some sort of guiding principle which we can't deviate. It doesn't, if we deviate, there will be negative consequence at later stage, and the business also want to run, right? So which means you have to identify some sort of third alternative, so which meets both of us, right? Both the business requirement as well as security requirement, right? And of course it should be kind of a mutual kind of an agreement, which should be agreed, and then we can definitely support the business. If you are not no longer supporting the business, then definitely the business, it will directly impact the cybersecurity function as a whole. And another experience which I would say is like, every organization so will have some sort of policies and standards. um, in my opinion, so I think these were set according to the what they understood from the business perspective, maybe team members and everyone, right? So why do they set the every organization has unique set of policies and standards, right? Though you might say the NIST is a very good framework, of course it has top notch requirements, and then you have your a lot of cloud security framework and so on, so which might cover some extensive set of requirements. But when you create some policy or standards for your company, so you need to make it achievable, and it should align with your business, right? So that itself is actually as a starting point to reduce some sort of the friction between the cybersecurity organization versus other
Yep.
organization, right, within the overall organization. Yeah. So that is one thing which I found, because majority of the time we are sometimes we put some aspirational requirements as well in the security standards and the the policies. So that might be seen as sometimes it is unachievable, so which means again it will be kind of we will, once we get audited, if you are unable to achieve something, you're not supposed to put that in the particular standards and policies. So we should put more achievable. Maybe we can add some, um, maybe we can raise the bar a little bit, so that we can make a quick progress rather than staying stagnant there for a long period of time, because everyone want to grow, right? So what we were doing yesterday, I mean, we are better than yesterday, right? We are doing whatever the activity that we did yesterday, we are trying, always trying to do better, right? On even if it is the same activity, right, or same work. So that is one thing which I observed. Yeah. And yeah.
Great,
Right.
great.
No, good points. Good points. So, understanding the business, making sure you set the right realistic expectations, no, not aspirational ones, but practical, realistic, and slow steps, right? Every day you have to improve yourself and make things better than yesterday. That applies to, in a personal life as well, right? Improve yourself every day. So awesome, awesome. Yeah, no, sorry.
Now I was saying, let's wrap it up with Sai, your parting statement for this week.
Okay. See, quick thing about mission, vision, objectives, and goals. Say it's extremely important for a cybersecurity professional to know about this, because unless, like when you rightly said, and Solai also supported the same thing, unless you know your business, unless you understand what your business does, it's extremely difficult for you to actually uh, put your security controls umbrella across the business. It's something that's imperative, very important, and to define your cybersecurity program and to define your cybersecurity vision and mission, you have to make sure you understand your business. That's how you will be able to define your cybersecurity vision, mission and your strategic objectives, tactical objectives to support your cybersecurity's broad vision, and have clear goals to make sure that you achieve your objectives. So extremely important, and they really help you to mature your cybersecurity program, and which is very important considering there are a lot of technologies like AI and everything coming up. You need to make sure that your cybersecurity program also matures in terms of its um, what I can say applicability, in terms of its relatable to the technology and the people. So yeah, this is something which I would say very important, and definitely we'll probably add some more info as well in our next couple of episodes.
Great. All right. Let us wrap it up with this. Thank you.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
everyone. Take care, Sai. Take care, Solai.
Cheers.
Thank you.